lab-grown meat. Real meat from real animal cells, but no animal. It's called cultivated meat, and it's molecularly identical to animal protein.
This could be the future of food, and Canada could be the last place to get it. I'll explain.
For the CEO of California-based Upside Foods, it all started with one single chicken egg 8 years ago.
We take cells from a cow, a chicken, or a pig and grow it directly outside the animal into delicious meat. From that chicken egg, I think we've grown close to about a equivalent of 100,000 chickens.
These cells rely on their own genetic programming to take shape. In a controlled environment, they naturally bind together, communicate, and grow exactly as they would inside an animal, dividing and packing en masse to build structured muscle tissue. The cells grow inside giant brewery-esque vats, doubling every 24 hours, fed by a broth of amino acids, vitamins, and sugars. Nutrient and taste-wise, it's identical to traditional meat, but it's also entirely free of growth hormones or antibiotics. And you can see why global tech summits and influencers alike are so into this technology.
Oh my gosh, this is simulating a chicken's body and the cells are just multiplying.
On paper, cultivated meat could be the answer to a whole bunch of different problems. The food demand crisis. By 2050, global population will hit nearly 10 billion people, pushing meat demand up to 70%. We simply do not have the land or water needed to raise that many animals conventionally. And that goes hand in hand with climate. Conventional beef takes up to 2 years of resources before slaughter. Cultivated meat takes just 2 to 3 weeks, cutting out livestock methane and slaughter altogether. And then there's biosecurity.
Uses incredibly lower amount of resources than raising an animal for 2 years and waiting for the meat and hoping that the herd is not wiped out by some kind of a pandemic or a swine flu or avian flu.
Upside Foods is targeting 1% of the total U.S. meat market by 2030, while Singapore aims to produce 30% of their protein in labs. In the U.S., safety approvals have been granted, and companies are currently focused on scaling up production from upscale restaurant menus to retail shelves. So why can't you buy this yet in Vancouver or Toronto? Why does Canada feel so far behind?
Dr. Sylvain Charlebois, director of the Agri-Food Analytics Lab, says Canada's hesitation isn't about the science at all, but about food politics.
I do think that there's some hesitance on the regulatory side simply because of supply management. If you allow for some products to be produced in Canada off-grid, outside the quota regime, that's going to create some tension with very well-established, very well-resourced farming groups.
Meet the SM5, Canada's multi-billion-dollar agriculture alliance that legally controls how much dairy, poultry, and eggs are produced to keep market prices stable for farmers. When you introduce a technology that grows meat in a controlled, sterile environment without a farm, you get friction because it offers price predictability.
The real menace here is to provide a product that is likely going to be much more stable price-wise. It'll be exposed to less volatility. If we have an opportunity to bring down prices and democratize animal protein in general, and that cellular agriculture chicken is half price, my guess, even if it's labeled, my guess is that a lot of people will actually opt for that cellular agriculture option. And that's the real game here.
But here's the thing. Supply management was built to protect Canadian food sovereignty, ensuring our local farms aren't wiped out by cheap imports. Critics say, though, stalling innovation could force consumers to overpay. That price drop is still down the road, once mass production can surpass the expensive cost of medical-grade equipment, but industry projections show price parity is inevitable.
But don't expect the process to move fast. Health Canada classifies cellular agriculture under their novel foods framework, a bottleneck that could take over a year to get all the safety protocols right. We reached out to Health Canada to see where that backlog stands. Here's what they told us. At this time, Health Canada has not received any applications for the assessment of lab-grown meat products. They went on to clarify that under the Canadian Food and Drug Regulations, all novel foods have to undergo a strict pre-market safety assessment before being sold. And in Canada, it doesn't matter if a product has been deemed safe by another country. If it's grown in a lab, Ottawa treats it as an entirely new, unproven novel food.
Because unlike the US, where massive states like California can set their own pace, Canada enforces one rulebook nationwide.
Their economy is big enough to recognize the heterogeneous nature of the market. Canada is not big enough to do that, so we have to apply same rules for all provinces. And right now, I would say that Health Canada has a problem when it comes to assessing perceptual risk and respecting the consumer at the end of the day.
Meanwhile, global innovators warn that food independence won't wait for our regulators.
With resource constraints across the world and nationalization of food security, it becomes really important for every country to be able to be self-sufficient in growing meat or crops. So we want to be able to get all the countries a choice of being able to have this technology adopted, but they need to start hearing about it now and starting to work with it now.
The science is proven and the facilities are being built, but in Canada, it's going to take a bit more time.